Hi guys, me and Ben are coming at you from Plymouth, Michigan. We're here at some really great sales training at the Alliance Franchise Brand Hub, and we've learned some really great things, and we're excited to maybe start kicking off a new series of videos about lean sales. So one of the biggest things that we've been learning here is about how much waste goes into the sales process. So really what this looks like is about only 30% of the prospects that you go after through like sales calls or just calling them on the phone, only about 30% of those actually result in meetings statistically. And then once you have a meeting, only about 50% of people actually go through with requesting a quote. And then at the end of that, only about 50% of people statistically that will turn into an order after they've gotten a quote. So that may sound like a lot, but when you break that down, that actually looks like about 100 of the people that you make contact with, only 8 of those are going to result in orders statistically. So that could be just a lot of wasted time going after people. If you visit 100 people, that can be hours and hours of time. So we're trying to brainstorm some solutions to how we can maybe reduce the waste that goes into sales.
Yeah, so kind of one of the strategies right now is 50% of sales time right now is just complete waste. Whether that is driving around, whether that is trying to find appointments, researching prospects that aren't going to work out, or even just writing up quotes and orders and having to do follow-ups. Yeah, some of these things are very important and they're crucial to make the sale, but how are we going to mitigate that non-value added activity? So some of the things that we're gonna try and see as we go along in this series is if we are able to monitor certain questions and see, oh, okay, we seem to be getting better responses with these versus these questions. These ones, people don't like them as much. They might not be as personable or something like that. Looking at the questions that work, creating standards in place that we can really focus in on those effective questions and plans of attack. If we can really hone in on those, then we will see results in our bottom line. We will see that number of 30% of meetings start to inch up maybe to 35 to 40%. And if we are able to reduce the waste of 50% of all sales activity down to 30%, imagine how much more opportunity we have to make those calls. So one really important thing that we can think of right off the bat is just with the prospecting itself. Looking at the location. Are you going to travel from here to here and here to here to make a sale, or are you going to try and group everything together so that way you can make the most out of your time? Another benefit to having a close grouping is that neighbors, they can talk, and if they really like what you're doing, they'll talk with their other neighbors. They're like, oh yeah, we've heard of them, or oh yeah, we've just had a meeting with them, they're great. It's a little bit of referral, a little bit of word of mouth, and as we know and studies have shown, those are the really key ways that you can make sales in working smarter and not harder.
And another one of the big things that we learned too is a lot of that waste goes into going after maybe prospects that are not even qualified or worth our time in the first place. So by simply taking maybe like a few minutes to do a bit of more research on them, we can eliminate maybe even 25% of that 50% of accounts and just not even go after them in the first place, which will end up saving us a lot of time and a lot of time for both parties too.
So yeah, thank you for joining us on this lean sales journey. I really hope that you guys can continue to watch and grow as we grow, and hopefully we can really make a difference, not only for our current sales team, but for the sales team going forward. This can be a great resource for looking at how to grow a solid sales team. So yeah, thank you all, and look forward to seeing you again soon.